Analog synths are amazing because they have a richness and warmth that you just can't recreate with digital or soft synths. Or can't you? In this video, I want to break down how you can make your digital software synths sound more analog to get that rich and warm sound that also makes your tracks easier to mix. Hey, I'm Reagan Ram with Orpheus Audio Academy, and I love to create a lot of like synthwave and retro synth pop style music. So this is something I do a lot in my tracks, and it's really simple to do, and it involves basically a mix of saturation and emulation. So to get this amazing analog sound from your digital synths, there's a couple things we can do. One is inside the digital synth itself, and also some effects we can put on after the fact. So here's a preset I'm using for an ARP sound. This was actually made by my friend Alonzo with Synthwave Dojo. And so we're going to check this out and hear how it sounds. I do have a couple of effects on it already. Some delay and just a little gating effect I'm adding later. So already a pretty nice analog-y sound as it is. And a big part of it is the modulation that is going on in the matrix up here. You can see there's a lot of modulation going on. And so this mimics the fact that analog synths, they weren't static, right? You had the sound actual flowing through the hardware, an actual electrical signal flowing through the hardware and the circuitry, and that's coloring the sound, but there's also imperfections that would get introduced as well. For example, the waveform wouldn't stay exactly the same. It would modulate a little bit and the pitch would drift a little bit. So we got some pitch detuning here, and we could also modulate that if we wanted to. I don't think Alonzo's modulating that, but also the pulse width here is being modulated, you can see, by this LFO here at a pretty fast rate. You can see 0.167 seconds. And if we turn these off, you can hear it completely kind of ruins the sound. And the same thing with the filter here. We got a couple of things going on here. So the envelope 2. So you can see the envelope is opening up with each press of the key. So that's another thing that can get that analog sound. Now, if you're looking for sounds, be sure to grab my free starter pack in the description below, or go to orpheusaudioacademy.com/starter pack and grab my free drum samples. And this pack will also include links to a bunch of amazing free presets for various free synths as well that give you that more analog vintage style sound. And there's a whole bunch more free goodies in there that I won't spoil, so be sure to grab that completely free in the description below. And effects wise, chorus is a big one as well. If we turn the chorus off. Big. And then, of course, going back to the actual waveforms, they themselves is huge, right? Using like basic shapes, you know, shapes that were available on analog synthesizers and not maybe some of the more crazy sounding ones. Using the actual analog waveform shapes will help. So these are pulse width shapes here, so like square waves. And then we've got the modulation going on with those. So that's a big part of creating that analog sound. And then from there, it's going to be adding some effects. So for example, we can add some saturation. Saturation is going to be huge for this because, again, back when you're using that in the 80s and so on, when you're using the actual analog synths, you got an actual electrical signal flowing through real circuitry, real physical gear, which colors the sound. So here I'm adding some tape saturation just with the built-in chroma glow here in Logic, so we can hear it without and with it in. So it just adds more of a warmth and a richness to it. It excites the sound a little bit more. Another great one is like this Abbey Road Saturator. That's not free though, but this one's really cool to use. Like we can turn the gain down here, and you can use red or TG here. This is a solid state, so this is like console saturation, transistor saturation. Red is using tube saturation, so we can check these out. So we can do a lot there. We got red. Pretty cool. Then we just want to make sure we balance the output so we're not adding volume. If you're looking for more interesting and pro quality samples to use in your tracks, definitely check out the sponsor of this video, which is Lander and their Lander samples. And Lander Samples makes it so easy to find whatever you're looking for. You can see this is their homepage. They always have new samples coming out, but you can search by instruments, by genre, by effects, by even BPM and key to find exactly what you're looking for. So if you want to try it out for yourself, you can actually get 20% off. Just use my link, which is orpheusaudioacademy.com/Lander, which will give you 20% off any of their products, including samples. So any kind of saturation. So we just showed like tape saturation, tube saturation. Another thing we can do is even use actual EQ or compressors, throw these on that will also add saturation, but they also mimic the tools that were available back in the 80s or whatever you're trying to emulate, that more vintage sound. So here's like a Pultec style EQ, and we're not doing any boosting or cutting here. We're just having this synth run through it. That's very subtle. But it's just adding a little bit of warmth to it. Like we could do something else with that. All right, we could throw like a Fairchild style compressor on this and not really do any compression, but just kind of use the saturation. So we're turning the threshold way down, and then we can boost like the gain and then compensate, and we'll hear how that sounds. Definitely warms up the signal a lot there. And the same thing like with another EQ we could throw on. Here's just a console EQ inside of Logic. I'm going to turn off those other two. So now we're hearing nothing, no saturation. That's the silky tube model. We can also use the console model here. So you add this to like everything across all your different tracks, and that's going to get them sounding a whole lot more analog. But that's not all we can do. We could also add some noise. So we could come in here and we can add noise from like actual synths. So these are actual noise that were recorded from real analog synthesizers. So now you're adding the actual noise profile that these synths had. So if we go back to this art. Oh, and by the way, all these synths you can grab in the description below through my affiliate links. And so if you purchase, I'll earn a small commission at no extra cost to you, but that really goes a long way towards helping support this channel and help feed my 5 children. So here is how this sounds. Well, that's a pretty cool sound, like on its own. Like that'd be cool to use. Obviously, we don't want it to be that loud because it kind of overpowers it. So we can pull that back, and we can also turn the gate up so it's only in when the synth is playing. This adds a little bit of texture to it, and maybe we can hear it better on these leads here. So you can see if we pull the threshold down, now you just have the sound all the way through. So that could be kind of cool to record that even and use it as a sound effect, but we want to turn that gate up so it's really only there when the synth is in. A lot of these analog synths had lower bit rates as well, so we can use a bit crusher to reduce that resolution. Now, if you're not sure what bit crushing is or bit depth or how all this works or how to use this effect, I have a full tutorial breaking this down in really simple terms, explaining what it is, and also gives you like 7 different creative ways on how to use bit crushing in your tracks. It's really awesome. Check that out in the description below. But we're going to use it here just real quick, and we're going to just kind of, what it does is it basically introduces some like digital noise to your sound. So if we have this full up, we can hear what this little pad sounds like here. More subtle. And then, right, we don't have to have the mix full up. We can like dial in how much we want. Kind of just thickens up the sound actually a little bit. So we could do that and add that to other things if we wanted to. Let's put the retro by noise in here. So with neither of these effects, trying to push a little bit. Now, if you found value from this tutorial, then be sure to check out my synthwave mastery training in the description below, or just go to orpheusaudioacademy.com/synthwave, and you can get this training here, and you can see it walks through everything you need to know to create vintage, retro, synth pop, and synthwave style music, from sound design here in module 1, a whole bunch of basically theory, and then also actual recipes and how to create individual specific sounds, including a lesson from my friend Daniel over with Synth Control. If you know Synth Control, he makes tons and tons of amazing preset packs, that many of which are retro synthwave in style for Serum. And so he actually shared a whole lesson on how he does sound design. Then we got module 2, which is all about writing a song. So we got different theory here on composing different sections. And then I'll also walk through creating a song from scratch myself in this style. And so there's a lot you can learn here as well. Then finally, we get into mixing, how to mix analog, retro, vintage, synth style music. And then wrapping up with mixing, with mastering, and also some distribution tips. And I'm also continuing to update this course and adding more advice from other synthwave artists, as well as this will fill out more in the near future. So it's everything you need to create retro, vintage, synth pop music. If that's something you're interested in, again, check this out by going to orpheusaudioacademy.com/synthwave. Now, if you want to learn more about saturation, then check out my video on the screen right now, which will take you to another one of my videos that goes more in depth.